Good evening, hello everyone, how you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you very much for joining me. Do get involved in the live chat. Kick-off 50 minutes away at Old Trafford. Manchester United against Brentford, two teams after a win for European football. Man United just likely to get Champions League, but maybe need another couple of points just to be sure of it. And Brentford trying to get Europa League football at present, but they've gone the second longest streak in the Premier League without a win, apart from Burnley. So another unchanged team from Keith Andrews. He didn't make a sub in the last game against Fulham, and he's sticking with that tried and tested 11, even though it's not yielding wins, but it's also not losing games either. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you're all good. I'm hoping for a Man United win this evening. What with West Ham playing Brentford at the weekend, I'm hoping that Man United win. It can just dent their European chances a little bit, keep that sort of streak going without winning matches, and maybe give us the impression that Brentford are on the beach. I've seen them quite a lot recently, actually, Brentford, thinking about it. I've seen them against Fulham, terrible game of football. Seen them against Leeds United, poor game of football. Seen them against us in the FA Cup. They weren't great. So yeah, I'm hoping, man, you can win and we can go beat them at the weekend. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Tell you what, by the way, a bit random because the adverts just come on prior. That Sky series for Prisoner looks bloody good, doesn't it? Every time I see the advert, I'm like, this is a bit of me. Then it's like 30th of April. I'm like, ugh. But now I'm like, hello, that's, I don't know when the 30th of April is, but what I do know, what is it, 27 today? Right, 3 days away. Not got long to wait. I'm looking forward to watching Prisoner. The adverts got me. They've got me. Doing something a bit different tonight. I'm introducing a little bit of the Hammers chat. We've got a better giveaway tonight. I've already done it. And there's going to be no phrase or anything. All you have to do is just get involved in the live chat. And if the bet wins, one of you lot who does get involved in the live chat of tonight's watch along will scoop the money. 100 quid. 100 quid. Now, I like my stats betting, so I've gone with that. I'm only going to read it out once, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll monitor it throughout the game. And if it looks like it could win, then I'll let you know. Because when we did this a couple of weeks ago, when Sunderland beat Spurs, my bet won. But it was my bet, right? But it would have been nice if I'd done it twice. Means one of you lot would have won some money as well. So I've expanded tonight. So this is the bet. Listen up, write it down, don't write it down, but listen up, pay attention. I'm only saying it once because there's quite a few things. So we need Luke Shaw to be fouled. We need Keane Lewis-Potter to be fouled twice. Shada to be fouled. We need Thiago to commit 2 fouls. We need Coyote to be fouled. We need Mbomo and Utara to have 2 shots each. There you go. If that wins, one of you lot wins 100 quid. Simple as that. Anyway, right, how y'all doing? What y'all thinking? Get involved in the live chat. Brelshar is hoping Man U batter them to the point they give up on the European push. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I'm hoping as well. Avid and Ryan are having a little conversation between themselves prior to me going live, which is good. I like it. I like the Tartan community growing. Hughes is glad I had a good match on Saturday. Worth the journey. It was. Do you know what? I had an excellent day, right? Early start. I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning, get ready. Was on the train at 10 to 7 in the morning. Get to Euston, get out to Stratford. We went to somewhere new for breakfast. We haven't been there before. Bill's. And I guess it's part of the shopping centre, but it's not in the shopping centre. It's on one of the buildings outside it. It was very, very nice, actually. Then walked to Hackney Wick, went to the West Ham Way pre-match event with Bobby Zamora, and then we went over to London Stadium, had another drink there, watched the game, and my word, I mean, emotionally wrecked, but what a fantastic game. Sun was shining, just everything you want as a football fan. A last-minute winner in the sunshine after a few beers, it's perfect. That's what you want. And then on the way home, it was a bit of a trek, but I overestimated how long it would take for me to get back to Euston, so I had a 2-hour wait at Euston. I could have gotten an earlier train. I would just have to pay for it. I ain't doing that, so I stuck around and waited for my off-peak train to get me home. So I got back in the front door at 11:15. So left here just after 6 and got back at 11:15. So a long day, but worth it. Right then, thank you very much, though, Hughes. Thank you very much. Jonathan saying was at the London Stadium on Saturday for the first time this season. Loved it. It's my first time as well, what with buying a house and Grace being born and stuff like that. But Leeds is a potential. I'm potentially going to go to the Leeds one. Wolf is saying, was Xavi out? Does that mean Somerville gets a place with the Dutch World Cup team? I think he was going to get one anyway, truth be told. Honestly, I think they would have both gone. Just couldn't prove it, but I think they would have done. Super is also hoping for a big Man United win. Matt, thank you very much, Matt. I still appreciate you. Generous man. I've picked out a TV, you'll be pleased to know. But I am going to get the shelves first and then later in the summer, before the start of the season, get a TV. So thank you very much. Very, very kind. Joel's in the live chat. Thank you very much. Hope you are all good too. Lucy said, interesting to see a Tartan duo that isn't Tottenham. Hey, my last one wasn't Spurs either. Who was the last one? Who did we do? Bournemouth Leeds. My next one will be Spurs, though. I'm doing tonight. And then Sunday, I'm doing Villa Spurs. I'm just hoping that we can pick up a good win against Brentford, because then there's a potential to go, we would be 5 points clear, but the potential to be 5 points clear with 3 games each to go would be incredible. So hopefully we can do our bit on the Saturday, and then I can do the watch along for the Villa Spurs one. What I won't appreciate is if we only draw against Brentford, because then the Spurs win, we're in the bottom 3, and that would not be pleasant viewing. So fingers crossed. Jack saying if Spurs lose to Villa and Leeds, they could be relegated by Chelsea as long as we get 2 points from our next 3. Sounds realistic when you put it like that. It absolutely is realistic. Dean saying, I know it's cynical, but when I hear that Brentford look flaky, yeah, fingers crossed. As Wiki saying, good to have you back on stream. You have a moment, watch Gonzo. I have watched it. He's not like that in person, though. I've sat next to him many times at the football, and he's not that bad. Putting it on for the camera, I reckon. I don't mind getting the clicks. Right then, what we've got, kick-off, 7 minutes away. The teams are up on your screen at the minute, but in goal for Man United from memory. Lamin's in goal with Dalot right back, Heaven next to Maguire, Short left back, Casemiro partnering Menu in midfield. There we go. And Bomo and Diallo on the wings. Wait and see which way round it is. I'd imagine that they've got it right on the graphic and Bomo will be on the left, but it could be the other way around. And Sesko up front and Fernandes in the number 10. And then the Brentford team remains unchanged. Kelleher in goal, Coyote right back, Collins and Van der Berg centre back with Keane, Lewis Potter at left back. Then you've got Yarmolenko and Jensen in midfield. Damsgaard ahead of them with Utara on the right, Shadow on the left, and Thiago up front. There you go. Expected 11s from both teams. Man United playing for Champions League football, although I'd imagine they'll get it anyway. And then Brentford trying to get back into that European race. So 9th in the table at the minute. I think a win puts them into 7th if they win tonight. So that would be... Tonight's a big game. It's a big opportunity for Brentford. But fingers crossed. I'm hoping, man, you can just do something to them. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of small injuries. Not a big one. I don't want any Xavi injuries. But if a couple of Brentford players could pick up a knock... Thiago maybe would be good. Kelleher, if I could be picky. If I could pick 3, it would be Thiago, Kelleher and Coyote. I think that would be the 3 I'd like to pick up a knock and miss Saturday's game. Ryan saying Maguire being back for Man United is good. I completely agree. They're just not the same defensively with Maguire. I think they're there to be got at with crosses and open play. And I think Leeds United showed that, but Calvert-Lewin just didn't score the header. But it was a fantastic opportunity for them to score against Man U. But they still got the 3 points at Old Trafford. Anyway, still not much chat about who's going to be taking charge at Old Trafford next season. It's quite weird, the lack of rumours. I don't think they'll give it to Michael Carrick. I don't think they should give it to Michael Carrick either. I don't know. He's done all right. He's been a good interim manager. But I'm not convinced he's what they need, Man U. So who would it be? Who should they go get? I think maybe they're just going to wait and see what happens in the summer. There's likely to be quite a few managers out of work, possibly would Enrique leave PSG? We'll have to wait and see. So maybe they're just going to wait and see how the land lies ahead of the summer. But we'll wait and see. It'd be interesting. There's been little talk, though, regarding who would be taking charge at Old Trafford. But we'll see. Dean saying the rumours this morning was Carrick. I know, but I'm not buying it, if I'm honest with you. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if that's who they gave it to. Yeah, I think they need a big appointment, Man U. At the end of the day, right, if it's if this season's been, the thing is, Man U are sitting third and comfy at the minute, and it's not a bad season for them, really, all things considered. My expectations of them at the start of the season would be kind of get Champions League football, so they'll do it comfortably. And it's not been what I would class as a good season for Man U, but yet it looks like they'll pick up Champions League football without too much bother. So I think all in all, it has been a good one. But I think they have benefited from having no European football. So I think that's been a big advantage for them this season, not having midweek games. And I think they've reaped the rewards a little bit, which is getting Champions League football. So whoever goes in has got a big job to do at Old Trafford next season as a team just exit the tunnel. Is he not the Dutch coach? Or he's a coach somewhere. He's not the Dutch manager. Is he like a coach under Ronald Koeman? He is somewhere, Avid. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's already a manager. Where is he? Is he at Ajax? Let's have a look. Where is he? It doesn't say he's doing anything. Maybe he's not doing anything. For some reason, I thought he had a job. Let's scroll. It just says that Leicester's. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's assistant coach at the Dutch team. Yes, how about that? How about that? Avid. How about that? Anyway. Stephen, I don't know. We've not discussed it. I have no idea if Gonzo's going to go to that game or not. We have not had a chat about it. Hardy's in the live chat. Michael saying, I understand West Ham survived. Given the finances, the Hammers might have to sell some of their assets. Yeah, we'll have to sell players. Who, how much, we don't know yet. But yeah, players will have to leave West Ham in the summer, whether we stay up or go down. As VK Cesc, he's still at Como. That's one of the two Italian teams I will actually watch. Or do you mean to Man United? Nah, I don't think so. I think he's going to have to Man City or Arsenal. I think City will go for Maresca. That one feels quite nailed on, doesn't it? So maybe Arsenal. Honestly, if Arsenal don't win the title, I think there needs to be a serious conversation about sacking Arteta. And if they do that, I think Cesc would be a really wise appointment for them. He's doing good things with Como, play lovely football, but got a big checkbook in Italy. Got the biggest budget in the league, I believe. Simon saying, Carragher did a good analysis of Arsenal's new short corner tactics. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I like Monday Night Football. It's my favourite programme of the week, really. I think Carragher's fantastic. I think he's the best pundit there is. Andrew saying, did Matt Rife cheer you up? He did. I'll tell you a joke, actually, and it's not actually from Matt Rife. Wait till, let me get my clock sorted out. Once kick-off happens, I'll tell you a joke from one of the support acts. I think his name was Jackson McQueen. He had two support acts, but it was quite unusual. There was a break. Then after the break, the second support... So there was a support act, then Matt Rife. Then there was a break. Then there was a second support act, followed by more Matt Rife, which is unusual. You don't normally get a support act after the intermission, but never mind, we got one. And to be fair, he was quite good. But there was one joke in particular that I really liked, and I'm going to tell you it. I'm going to tell you it. So if you're going to go see Matt Rife at all, I don't know if his tour is still going on in the UK, if it's come to a conclusion. But if you are going to see him, maybe take your headphones out or mute me for the next 3 minutes. It's a very short one. Don't worry, but it's a good one. I'm just waiting. I'll tell you what, I thought kickoff was sooner than it actually bloody is. Come on, get your bloody... Anyway, Brentford will get the game underway. Thank you very much for joining me. Oh, we are underway. There we go. Oh, that's an interesting tactic. They're not hoofing it forward, but they did go backwards. So Andrew's saying, how is Matt Rice special Scottish chap? Well, I'm going to go tell you the joke now. So I think his name was, I'm sure his name was Jackson McQueen. So he said, ladies, be honest. Give me a cheer. So be honest. Does size matter? So naturally, as you'd expect, there's a cheer from various women around the arena. A loud enough cheer from all the females present. Does size matter? Yay! Right, brilliant. He goes, all right. So some men would suggest size does not matter. It's all about the motion of the ocean. He says, but what about the size of the ocean? Now, obviously, there was a little giggle from some men. You could see what was coming here. And he said, if you take a yacht and put it in a lake, it's going to look massive, right? It's going to look big. But if you take the same yacht and put it in the middle of the ocean, it's going to disappear. Where's it gone? You can't see it. It's gone. You take a canoe and put it in a bathtub. It's huge. It doesn't fit. It's absolutely enormous. He said, I guess what I'm trying to say, loose lips sink ships. Brilliant. I was crying. I was absolutely, I was in tears with it. That was my favourite joke of the night, and he wasn't even the main one. It's Menu. Oh my God, Menu, get it to Diallo. Oh, what a save. What a save by the defender off the line. Wow, I can't believe Man United haven't scored. Fernandes gave it to Menu, and he just went on this dribble. It was shook off Damsgaard, took it past Collins, past Yarmolenko, gave it to Diallo, who had a shot at it. Van der Berg. Yeah, he just off the line practically from the Brentford defender. Corner kick to Man U, and it's headed behind by Utara for another corner. Fantastic play by Kobe Mainoo, though. What a fantastic dribble that was. Should be 1-0 Man United. Should be 1-0. Anyway, hopefully you all enjoyed the ship joke. It wasn't my joke. It was someone else's. But I thought it was good. What's your score predictions for the game? It's currently 0-0. I think we can get some score predictions in, even though we've missed the first 3 minutes. I can't remember what I said in my predictions. I don't know where it is. I can't go back and look. I feel okay about like the prospect of Man U winning. Nah, I can't find it. I don't know where I've done them. I've lost them. I don't know. I'll say 2-1 Man U. Dean saying 3-1 Man U. Ryan is 2-1 Man U. And I will say Brentford are draw kings. So he's going for the draw. Avid saying 2-1 Man U as well. I hope they win. Anyway, and Bomo to Fernandes. They've started brightly, Man U. I'll tell you that. 4 minutes and Brentford have been under the cosh a little bit here. Man U moving the ball quick, and they've just forced Brentford to give away a corner there. Great play. Gavis 2-2. Harry is 3-1. Katie's going for a draw as well, and Andrew's also going 2-1 Man United. No Brentford win predictions yet, which is reassuring because I wasn't hoping to see any. Supper saying a 4-0 Man U. I'd love that. I feel a bit disgusting wanting a Man U win, but here we are. Relegation battles do funny things to you, don't they? Make you want things you don't want to want. Paul's 3-0 Man U. Danny's saying he annoyingly needs Man U to win and a few more this season to help European push. If it's still possible, up the toffees. Aswike is saying 2-1 Man U, but Thiago scores first. That's an accurate prediction. Shaw sweeps it in now. And a chance for Brentford to break here. It's really good play by Shad, and he's been hauled down by Luke Shaw. Yellow card for the Man United left back. Great play there by Brentford. Shada picks the ball up and away he went. I don't think Shaw quite had to do that, but I understand why he's done it. It's very early on to take a booking as well. Especially when you're up against Utara. You're really going to have to behave yourself now. Looks like he's hurt his fingers in the process too. I've hurt myself today. Like really hurt myself. My hand's not as grazed as it was. My elbow's grazed, my shoulder's sore, my knee's sore, my toes cut. So our garden's got like a drop from the grass to the patio. It's like just a drop. And it's not a big goal kick, Man U. It's not a massive drop. I don't know, like up to my nipples maybe not quite that tall. It's not big, but it's a significant enough drop, right? So I had the hose out. And I went to the end of the garden with it, and it didn't turn on. So I retreated back to the hose, make sure there was no kink. And I got to the end of the wall where the drop was, picked up the hose to check it was okay. And my brain just went, you're going to have to go check the tap. And I just stepped to the side and bang, off I went, down onto the patio in a heap. Shoulders in pain, knees in pain. You feel old when things like that happen. You feel old. It takes you a few seconds to get up. You don't have to feel flipping stupid either. Anyway, Utara's on the ball here. Damsgaard. Utara takes it off him and continues his run. Mainu does well to get back and put the tackle in. Luke Shaw helping him out. It's quite an open game so far. I'll tell you something. Just under 7 minutes gone. It's been a decent start. I like it. And Bowman now on the ball against his former club, against Keane Lewis Potter. Goes to the touchline. The byline, sorry. Crosses blocked. Another corner for Man U. And I make this their fourth corner of the match already after just 7 minutes. Little Lady Lou saying 3-0 Man U. Danny's saying you're welcome regarding West Ham's Maguire. Oh, that's a good save by Kelleher. Maguire with a really strong header, but that was a great save by Kelleher. It was maybe too close to Kelleher. Right height for him as well, but still he's got to react and he got two firm hands on it to push it out. Great header by Maguire. Like nice clean connection from the Man United centre-back there. And he's saying you better send Spurs down as a consolation for those points or I'll be coming for you personally. No need to threaten me. I agree, we better send them down. I still think they're going down. What's everyone's honest thoughts, right? I don't want to see... There's too many, but it's Spurs. Like, I feel like it's wearing off. And I feel like the mainstream media are starting to... I don't want to say wake up a little bit, but they sort of are. I've seen an article today by... I can't remember who it was. And it was like... Could Spurs actually get relegated? And it's like you're only just asking the question, could Spurs go down? Like it's been that question for months now. Like I think there's just been this naivety that they'll be okay though, it's Spurs. Tell you something, football journalists are like really late, aren't they? To like stuff. It's like fans will talk about it for ages, and the journalists will almost say, no, like look down upon the fan bases. And it's not just West Ham; it's like all fan bases. They'll look down upon them, like you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about. And then I feel like after a month or two, when the fans are starting to be proven correct, the journalists will be like, well, I'm going to write about it, and as if I've come up with it myself, and as if no one's been discussing it for 2 months, kind of thing. You've just been dismissing it for ages. Late to the party. There's a bit like West Ham, Karen Brady type stuff. The journalists are saying, she never did that good a job. I'm like, well, when we were telling you this, you were not writing about what you've just wrote about. You were almost saying, Brady's fantastic at her job. What are you all complaining about? Anyway, don't know what I'm ranting about. Well, I do know what I'm ranting about. Don't know why I'm ranting about it. Someone's triggered me. And Bournemouth in on goal here. It's another block by Collins. It's another corner for Man United. Andrew saying, wait till your 50s. I now have balance issues, but Alpine sticks just so I can walk properly. I've got a little while till then, I suppose. Louis saying, what do we think of Sesko? It seems there's a player there, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up another United flop like Højlund, but then goes to do well. I like Sesko. I liked him in the Bundesliga. I do. I like Sesko. I'm not sure he's the right one for Man U, but I think there's a lot I like about him. Lewis. And it comes again. It's Maguire at the back post again with his header towards Casemiro. 1-0 Man U. Casemiro with a goal. 1-0 Man U. See if he's onside. I imagine he is. He's a very intelligent player, Casemiro. He's been in unbelievable form the last couple of months. Since Carrick's come in, Casemiro's been fantastic. And I think playing alongside Kobe Mainoo's helped as well. They're going to miss him. Big player. Big player to replace in the summer Man U. It's not going to be easy. Let's have a look and see if he's onside. I assume he is, but let's have a little gander. Maguire gets his head on it. Yeah, he's well onside. Good one, Casemiro. Great header. Kelleher will be disappointed to be beaten at his front post like that. I think it's just really good play by the two Man United players. Great play, Maguire. Great play, Casemiro. 1-0 Man U. Lewis is saying it's definitely a Spurs thing, though. If there's anyone else, I'll be certain West Ham are staying up. Matt saying West Ham stay up. I'll get a tattoo of Tartan on my arm. Please do not. I will not hold you to that. It's a bold thing to say. But I do not want you to get a Tartan tattoo on your arm. It is not worth it. I am not worth it. Thomas is saying this is why he likes fan channels. Gabby Bonlahor had Spurs finishing on 42 points in these last 6 games. Yeah, I've seen loads of pundits coming up with like, since De Zerbi went in, like they'd win every single game, and it's a bit like, you what? But the worst thing is, I know there's people that work behind the scenes at Sky Sports who have never been on the screen. I know there is, because when we did a podcast with Sky Sports a few years ago about Dimitri Payet, and in the process of getting ready to do the podcast, we had to speak to people from behind the scenes at Sky Sports. And he literally said to me, we're going to try and get an ex-player on, but we've just got to be careful which one, because sometimes we get ex-players into the studio to speak about West Ham, and you can tell they've not watched West Ham play. I'm like, oh, okay. And he told me a couple of players. I'm not going to say which one, but one of them's a former goalkeeper. Let me just... one of them's like a former goalkeeper. I can't do the... I don't know. Just a clue, right? One of them's a former goalkeeper. And he says he doesn't. You can tell he doesn't watch West Ham games. Anyway, about a month later, that person he was speaking about was in the Sky Sports studio speaking about West Ham, and I was like, "You don't even think he's good? Why is he there? Why have you got him on?" Like the people that work behind the scenes at Sky, that one guy in particular was like, he doesn't watch West Ham, so they got him in like a month later to speak about West Ham. I thought, what's the point? Anyway, I don't get it. I think sometimes there's an assumption that every player watches every single game, or there's a pressure for that former player or pundit to pretend they've watched every single game. And I don't understand it. I remember the best example was when the women's Euros was on, and they had, who's the former Palace player that they get on Sky quite a lot? Was it Clinton Morrison, maybe? Can't remember who it was. They had someone on, former Palace player, next to a female footballer. Now, she was fantastic about the females game. She was telling a lot of stuff about each country. And they asked him, England were going to play like Norway. And they said, oh, what do you think like the biggest challenges will be for England? And he was like, they're very athletic. Just say I don't watch it. Just say I'm not watched much of the football. I just say I've never seen them play. I've watched a lot of England this tournament, and that is it. Just say that. They're very athletic. Which team isn't? Anyway, Brentford have got a corner here. 50 minutes gone at Old Trafford. And it comes. It's not a great one. Head away by Casemiro. But it's a poor clearance by Casemiro in the end because it goes to Utara, but he's under pressure from Diarra. That's a great ball to Kane Lewis-Potter. He cuts it across. Oh, and that's good defending by Luke Shaw at the back post to put it, but he didn't even touch it. They've given a goal kick. I still think it's good defending, even though he doesn't touch it. I still think it's good defending because he certainly puts Thiago off. Yeah, Thiago assumes Luke Shaw's going to get that, and in the end doesn't get it himself. I don't know how that's not ended up in the back. Did Shaw touch that? He must have. I think he does. I think Luke Shaw does touch that. I think that's just an error from the officials there. Lewis says he reckons West Ham beat Brentford. We will be safe. Sketch. I'm exhausted trying to follow your watch-alongs. Mrs. Jill must be a saint. She probably passes you in the kitchen, wonders who you are. The way I see it, right, is that I'd be watching the game anyway. Right, if I wasn't sat here with you lot, I'd be downstairs in the living room watching the game. So me coming and doing a watch-along means she gets to watch TV. As Damsgaard ducks and weaves, he finds Utara. That's a great save. That is an absolute fantastic. This is a really good. It's Coyote, sorry, or maybe it is Utara. Let me have a look. Damsgaard. Yeah, he found Coyote on his left foot. That's a top save by Lamins. Fantastic save. This is a really good game of football. I should stop chatting bollocks and just talk about the game more often because both teams could have had a couple of goals each by now. What a good game of football. 17 minutes in, there's been more action in this than I've seen in some Premier League games in its entirety this season. Joel saying, can't help but wonder how many subscribers understand or appreciate the Urgeo thumbnail. Not many. I had to explain it last time. Not many. Yarmulke picks up the loose ball. And it comes from Utara. Collins tackles Maguire, so it falls through to Kane Lewis-Potter. He crosses it back in. Head away by Casemiro. But Jensen up against Diallo on this far side now. Casemiro goes to help him out. It's really good defending by Diallo and Casemiro there, actually. Casemiro's having a blinder. Diallo goes long, looking for Sesko. He finds him. Good striker play, that. He's under pressure now. And there's Diallo helping him, but they've lost out, and Coyote plays a good game. I'm really enjoying this. I am really enjoying this match. Bit worried, actually. After the first 5-10 minutes, I was thinking, God, we might beat Brentford on Saturday, but looking at their reaction to going 1-0 down, don't know, they've been playing quite quick and quite well. Jensen hooks out to Lewis-Potter, left back. Back to Jensen. His body's in the box for Brentford, that's for sure. Jensen goes long, looking for Utara. But it's Casemiro there again. He's having an excellent game, isn't he? Shane thinks Tony Gale gets on his nerves. That commentary, I don't have any commentary. I listen to it downstairs, but quite low. I'm not that bothered for the commentators. Brentford come forward again. Yarmulke on the ball. Thiago's out on that right, not where you want your striker, but he sends a cross in towards Shada, who heads it down for Damsgaard. Brentford are getting into the Man U third relatively easy here as Lewis Potter. Good save. Well, a comfortable save, rather, for Lamins. Nearly 20 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Man United 1, Brentford 0. Casemiro's goal, the difference. But I can't see it staying 1-0, that's for sure. As Jensen fires it out to Tartan on this right-hand side, he brings it down, but Luke Shaw does really well. And he's got to be careful, Luke Shaw, but he did that very cleanly. Robert saying, be grateful. You can be nervous for our game at Brentford. You were worried about the Wolves and Everton one. We won both. Yeah, God knows. The weird thing is, I wasn't actually nervous on Saturday. I didn't think we'd win, but there was no nerves about me until the second half. That's when they kicked in. And then when we were 1-0 up, Fernandes whoops it in, but it's going to go out for a goal kick. Yeah, when we were 1-0 up, that's when my nerves came in on Saturday. That I turned to frustration and then anger when it was 1-0, and then just elation when Wilson scored. But I feel okay, like today, like ahead of the game against Brentford on Saturday. I feel fine. But I do think we need a win. I'm very uncomfortable that we could draw. So post-international break, we'd beat Wolves, draw against Palace, beat Everton, draw against Brentford, and then Sunday night get put into the bottom three. That just doesn't feel right, but it could happen. If we draw and Spurs win, we're in the bottom three, and that makes me uncomfortable. But if my auntie had bollocks, she'd be my uncle. There is also the possibility that we win against Brentford and then Villa beat Spurs and we're 5 points clear with 3 games to go. And you'd really fancy us staying up then. I still think we'll stay up. I'm still at 60%. And Yarmulke does well. But Casemiro, I tell you what, Casemiro is just unbelievable in this game. He's defensively, he's breaking up everything at the minute. I'm doing relegation with him tomorrow, Avid, so I assume he'll put it up tomorrow night. I'll be reminding Connor about his prediction that we were going to lose against Everton. See what he's got to say for himself. I didn't think we'd win, to be fair. But I didn't think we'd lose. Went for the 1-1. Diallo on the ball. Bruno goes on the overlap on the left-hand side. He might just go himself. He does, and he probably should have passed in the end. Bruno giving him a little applaud, but it was a terrible effort. We need 7 things for the bet. We've got 6 to go. But I'm okay with that. It's only 23 minutes in. Plenty of time. Shada a little bit too clever there, and he's lost out to Sesko, and Bomo Casemiro hits it. And Vandenberg's kept in for no reason, and Collins ended up playing it off Casemiro, but it falls to Kelleher. No harm done in the end. Ben saying, what do we reckon about Brentford so far? I'm also going to click on Daniel's comment just prior for you, Ben, who said, I'm starting to get worried looking at Brentford's reaction to go a goal down. Not sure we could cope with their barrage. True. They've been impressive. Damsgaard, Atara, cross blocked by Shaw, and Lamins is the one that clears it. You've got to fancy Brentford scoring, haven't you? They're just getting into that final third really easily. Just need a bit more composure. But Man U defensively doing okay thus far. But they're looking dangerous on the break themselves, Man U. Alex, if we stay up, Desas is my number one. And my second priority would be a striker. I know this. I know it's probably bullshit, right? This rumour. I've seen the rumour earlier, right? And it's probably complete BS, okay? I think it's BS, but I'm going to tell you what the rumour was. Nicholas Jackson. I'm a fan. I think he's quite, popular to dislike. I think he's quite popular to think he's poor. And he probably is poor because of that. But I actually think he's a really good striker. I think he's young. And I don't think he's perfect. I think he needs to calm down. I think he can be a little bit too much of a hothead and stuff. He can be a liability. But my rule of thumb, and this was actually sort of, I almost got my confirmation. I've always had this theory that I've repeated quite often, which is what Lewis has said, actually. This is my theory, which he misses a lot of sitters. But my theory is that if an attacker is getting into positions to miss a lot of sitters, it means that the reading of their game's really good, their runs are really good, there's something they're doing right. And I've always said, and to be fair, no one's really disagreed with me too much, but then when Mr. Matthew, Brentford, chairman, was speaking about how he identifies strikers, and he said the same thing. If you look at a striker that's missing a lot of big chances, he prefers to look at it that they're getting a lot of chances. And I think I've been saying that for years. I feel validated. I felt really validated. And I think Nicholas Jackson's one of those players. Maybe on loan, because Bayern Munich aren't going to pay the 54 million. I think he just needs to be loved. I think Jackson needs a home. I think he needs to be loved. I think we give him it. Chelsea have got good strikers. In the summer, Chelsea are going to have Pedro, Delap, Jackson and Guiu. They don't need all four. Whichever one they want rid of, we'll have them. Even if it was Guiu on loan, I think that wouldn't be bad. Even if it was Liam Delap, wouldn't be bad. I think I'd be going to Chelsea saying, can we buy Desas and can we loan one of your strikers, please? We don't mind which one. Anyway, Brentford have got a corner here after 27.5 minutes. Good work by Lewis Potter down that left. I know he probably doesn't like playing left back, but he does add an attacking dynamic to Brentford playing in that position, although I am still a big Aaron Hickey fan. For obvious and biased reasons. The crowd in the Man U's 6-yard box here. Few players to aim for, and it comes towards that back post, towards Jensen, not Jensen, Keane Lewis Potter himself. Is bouncing around, and he's given a free kick. Bit lenient, I think. It's Luke Shaw that's gotten down. I don't know if it was. I think it was under Lopetegui, Lewis. If my memory serves me right, I think it was under Lopetegui. And I think we played Edson Alvarez right centre-back. And he was Jackson stood between Alvarez and the centre-back. And they just kept playing that ball through our defence. He was running in on goal every single time. Alvarez was definitely in the back three. I remember it. I think it was under Lopetegui and Alvarez was in the back three. That's my memory. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to Andrew, who's saying help Mrs. Gio out by giving Gio a thumbs up. Come on, you Irons, marching on together. Thank you, Andrew. That's very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And Bomo on the ball for Man U. Goes back to heaven. And Bruno just pulled out to this right-hand side here. Try to stretch that Brentford defence. Brentford are pushing high up anyway. You can see Van der Berg. Even though Collins is the captain, you can see Van der Berg is the one just instructing the Brentford defence to step up a little bit. As Mbomo's sort of in a striker position at present. As Sesko's dropped deep in. Man U just keeping the ball at the minute and just trying to move Brentford around. They're pressing high, Brentford, but Harry Maguire's done really well here and giving it to Casemiro. Bruno Fernandes on 18 assists for the season, needs 3 more to break the record. Man U will have 4 games after tonight for Fernandes to try and break that record. He's had an incredible season. I suspect he'll win the Player of the Year. As Casemiro goes in, good tackle. Sesko's Fernandes dinks it towards Diallo. Oh, he should be scoring that. Straight at Kelleher. I know heading isn't his strongest ability, Amad Diallo, but it's a really good opportunity. And that's a good interception by Heaven. He's done really poor to give it away to Tara. Matt, thank you. This is very kind of you, Matt. Again, Matt, who's a big supporter of the channel, saying, as a Yank, Gio is the best and most informative lad. This channel is not appreciated enough. Also, I lived in England in 74 to 78 when I became a Hammer. Well, Matt, thank you for your support. That's very, very kind of you. And I don't think I'm the most informative person, but I appreciate you saying that. It's very, very, very kind of you. Max is saying, do we think Alvarez comes into the squad and starting lineup next year? Yeah, I can see him. I can if Nuno is here, then yeah, I think Nuno would work with him. Bruno comes forward, looks for Sesko, Coyote intercepts and goes back to Kelleher. Grass saying Brentford look bright, but at least they're having to work hard at the moment. They are. Both teams are. It's a really, really good game. I'm enjoying this one. Joshua saying the game against Chelsea's why I say Lopetegui's the worst manager I've ever seen at West Ham. I mean, I think Potter would be ahead of him for me, as well as Avram Grant. But I had serious frustrations with Lopetegui. We got slapped quite a lot, didn't we? We conceded quite a lot under Lopetegui. Brian, that ball's not on camera, I'm afraid. I mean, I have got incredible security cameras all around my house. Do not try and rob me. But unfortunately, it wasn't working this afternoon. Also, Brian, I'm injured. Sicko. I haven't looked at my elbow. I don't know if it's grazed. It might not be. It's fucking sore, though, when I landed. I don't think it's sore. Nah, there's nothing there in it. I need to just man up and get on with things. Are you allowed to say that these days? I don't know if you're allowed to say you have to man up. Anyway, I had a sore elbow. But even if that phrase is cancelled, I still refer to it on occasion. And I'm going to man up and just get on with things. Starting tomorrow. Oh, good chance here. Oh, he's found him. Good ball by Jensen out to Keane Lewis Potter. He does get forward really well from that left back spot. Gives it back to Damsgaard. Now Jensen. They're on the edge of the box once again. Brentford. Casemiro dives in, but Jensen's done well. Wiggle away from him. Damsgaard now cuts it back to Keane Lewis Potter. Need to get the cross in. That was a good run there. All 3 Brentford attackers ran, but the cross didn't come in. Utara, he's giving it away again. Oh, no, that was Coyote, sorry. Utara's tracking back here. Bruno Fernandes on the ball. Sesko's on the move. It's a difficult pass to make. Bruno probably does the right thing and checks back and gives it to Dalot. It's a very open game. This has been 34 minutes, right? It's been a brilliant game. It's not really had like a lull in it, has it? It's just been end to end. 2 teams just going at each other. We've had some good games recently. Do you know the Champions League matches between Atletico and Barca? Then we had Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. Those games were brilliant. Don't know if anyone watched them. I thought they were absolutely brilliant games of football. Just two teams just trying to score goals for 90 minutes. Thoroughly enjoyable. Yarmulke out to Tara, up against Shaw's on a booking, so go on then, take him on. Well, he's done that, and Shaw's just gone to ground. Thiago, he's in. Thiago's in. Good ball, Thiago. He's fell over. What the fuck's he doing? He fell over. Where is the Man U defence? What's Heaven doing? Where's Maguire? Maguire gets sucked right in by Damsgaard and just leaves about a 20-yard gap between himself and Dalot. And Thiago's just stood in the middle of them. Mutara gives him it. And Thiago's just... He's completely hesitated. He goes to shoot and doesn't shoot and falls over. What a strange sequence of events in the Man U box here. Should be 1-1. I mean, saying that, there's been a couple of other big opportunities for Brentford, but my word, that was piss poor from Thiago there. That happened. West Ham do that on Saturday. One of our players do that, and I can easily see one of our unnamed players doing that on Saturday. I think I'd lose my head. Ryan is asking you all to drop a like. Help me out. It would be kind, if you don't mind. There's 190 of you watching live. If you wouldn't mind just clicking thumbs up, it would be kind. And I appreciate you joining me. I know it's not the most attractive fixture in the world, but Thiago's in again here. Heaven all over him. It's still Thiago, and that's fantastic defending and a great save. And it's a corner kick. He was onside. Thiago's practically through, and Heaven from behind him just managed to get his foot on it, and Lamins has had to save the tackle from Heaven. It's a great ball by Damsgaard, though. He's such a lovely footballer. It does bounce a bit awkward for Thiago, doesn't it? It took a little while to come down. Couldn't quite get it under control. Really good defending, though. Can't believe this game's only 1-0. Anyway, in it comes from Mutara, and it's cleared away by Casemiro. Gallagher goes long to Collins, who's still up there, but Maguire wins it. And it's not a great ball by Lewis Potter, but Coyote's got the speed to retrieve the ball. Brentford have been much better team since Man U went 1-0 up, but Man U have still had their chances to make it 2. Amad Diallo in particular, as Yarmulke comes forward with it once more. Damsgaard with a lovely ball into the feet of Shada. Under pressure from Mainoo, so he goes back to Damsgaard. He's maybe just overhit that. Shada is quick, though, and he does keep it in. Damsgaard once again on the ball, and that's an adventurous pass, but it's cleared by Shaw. Brentford wingers, they've not been in great form since I've been watching them. Mutara and Shada, they need a big performance, and it comes from Thiago! Oh, what a save! I think it's Thiago. It's certainly someone's put it towards the Man U goal. Judging by Thiago's reaction, it was him, but that is a fantastic save. Damsgaard with another cross, and I think it might come off Heaven. It comes off Heaven's arm, and Lamins has to tip it round the post. That's an outstanding save from him. It's a really good season, Lamins. Really, really good. Can we have a... Could he be the goalkeeper of the season in the Premier League? Chat, what do we reckon? Damsgaard has a shot because Casemiro blocks it. Maguire doesn't get it. Collins gives it to Van den Berg. Mainoo gets something on it. Jensen puts it back in that box, and Lamins gets a strong fist on it, only as far as Damsgaard. How Brentford have not scored, I do not know. Well, I do. Lamins has stopped all the shots. But Brentford have deserved to score. Utada on this occasion out on the right-hand side, up against Sean Fernandez, tries to go past them both, but it's good defending by Man U, and they get a throw-in down in their own corner. Anyway, Lamins. Could Lamins be in the Premier League team of the season? You look at the main ones, you start at the top, don't you? Raya, he's had a good season, but I don't know, I think he's just had a good season. Man City, Donnarumma, no. Again, a decent debut season, but I don't know, I just don't feel like he's the best one. Then you got Lamins, then you got any Liverpool keepers I know. Who's just been booked? That's Vandenberg. Yeah, that's a yellow card. He's got no intention of going for the ball. He just body checked Sesko. Felt a little bit unnecessary, to be honest with you. Emi Martinez is a big no for goalkeeper of the year. Then we're down into 6. Brighton. No. Yeah, I don't know. I think Lamins might be my goalkeeper of the year. I was a big fan of Roofs earlier on in the season. He's had his injury. Bomo gives it to Bruno. Man, you come forward. Ahmad's on the move. Bruno gives it to Ahmad Diallo. 2-0, but the flag is up. Fernandez still requires 3 more assists. Unless he's onside. It looked close. I thought the run was quite good. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's well offside. Fair enough. Well done, Lino. You got that one right. Good finish. It remains 1-0. Lewis says Dean Henderson. Yeah, I agree with Dean Henderson. As we case in, Sunderland's keeper, he's the one I mentioned, Roofs. Finn is saying, surely Raya. I think he's in the top 5, Raya. I don't know if he's just been outstanding. I don't think we've had an outstanding goalkeeper this season, maybe. Roofs, I think, has impressed me quite a lot. And I think Lamins has. I think he's made a big difference to Man U. Utada does a 1-2 with Shada, but it's cleared by Diallo, I think. And Bruno Fernandes is on the move here with Mbomo on his right, Sesko on his left. He might go himself. He gives it to Sesko. 2-0. Great goal by Man U. Bruno Fernandes gets his assist. 2 more required for the Manchester United skipper to break the record. 2-0 Man U. Good team goal. Really good, really, really good break. Sesko with a goal. Thumping finish. I think he only needs 2 more. If someone, the commentators will be telling you. If anyone is listening to the commentary, let me know. But who did that tackle? It was Ahmad Diallo. I thought it was. That was a fantastic defender by Diallo. Wins a crucial interception on the edge of the box. Gives it to Fernandes in one move. And just goes running down the middle of the pitch. Takes his time. Picks out Sesko. Takes a touch. Takes another touch. Collins slides in and thumps it past Kelleher. 2-0 Man U. And maybe a bit harsh, actually. I feel like that's a little bit harsh on Brentford. I think they've been good value tonight, but find themselves 2-0 down. A good result for, well, good score so far for West Ham. Benj Jama saying, I'd be fuming if I was a Brentford fan. I think I would as well. Yeah. Finge also likes the Brighton keeper. Yeah, I think that's fair. Well, we'll do it at half time. I don't mind a little. I haven't got a Sharpie though. I've got a gold one. I don't think I've got a black one. I don't know where they've all gone. I had about 3. They disappeared. I know what happens. Mrs. Gio needs one. She comes in and picks it up and goes away and doesn't return it. I need to buy some more. Ah, there is one here. I thought I put one back. There we go. We will rank the goalkeepers at half time collectively. Andrew saying, big shout to Lou McCarry. Does a good man, even for next Man U. Does great stuff for the homeless in Town of Stoke. He does. They've moved recently. I used to live not far from the homeless centre for the Lou McCarry Homeless Centre. They've got a new, last year, the year before maybe, they got a new location for it. Not too far from the previous one. The old Lou McCarry Centre is now like an indoor football place and does like football darts and stuff. Brentford coming forward, Damsgaard on the ball, gives it to Jensen. Oh, not far wide. 2 minutes of stoppage time. What a game of football we're being treated to at Old Trafford. I'm just writing 1 to 20 on my a bit of paper. I'm getting prepped for half time, you see. We can all argue in the live chat. We're going to do it collectively. And we're going to have to argue. And we can maybe do a couple of reshuffles at the end. So get your thinking caps on, ladies and gentlemen, as to who you think is the best, the worst, and the absolute bang average goalkeeper. Maguire pops it forward for Man U. 1 minute until half-time at Old Trafford. And Boma runs after the loose ball, but Collins gets there first, giving it to Shada, who comes forward with it. But he's just lacking a little bit of confidence, Shada, at the minute. You know, he's such a fast player. You want to see him try and take Dalot on, but he's not really tested Dalot at all. Damsgaard's been brilliant in this half, I think. A lot of good spells for Brentford. Top saves by Lamins. Feels a bit harsh to be 2-0 down, but there we go. Anyway, James Gunn has said, bang average keeper is Nick Pope. Now I'm going to disagree with that. I don't think he's bang average. I think he's worse. I think he used to be good, but we're going to be doing it. Right, we're ready, live chat, okay? Are we ready? We're going to be doing ranking the goalkeepers, and we're going to come up with our list. Got my 1 to 20, ready to rock and roll. Obviously, we're going to probably be... It might be easier to pick out the top 5, bottom 5, and then the middle 10, and then go from there to some extent. But let's just go for it. Who is the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League this season? The current number ones. What we got? From the current ones. I'm not doing Areola or Perry or anything like that. I think there's an argument for some of those. It's Jose Sa, maybe. Nick Pope. I'm not a big fan of Nick Pope anymore. I think he used to be good, but not anymore. Yeah, I think Vicario, that's a good one. Vicario's a good shout. Sort of saying, Sa, Vicario, who are we going to go for? Sanchez, says David. Right, we're going to go Vicario. And then I think we'll go Jose Sa. And I'm going to put Nick Pope in there because David is backing me up here with Nick Pope. So we'll put Pope in there. So we've got Vicario 20th, Jose Sa 19th, Nick Pope 18th. And we're not going to be doing the sub goalkeepers, right? The likes of Jorgensen and that. We're not doing sub keepers. We're just doing the number ones, the main number one, the current number ones. That's what we're putting in. Right, so we've got Vicario 20th, Jose Sa 19th, Pope 18th. Where we're going next? Sells, Hermansen, Grouch says Dubravka. I think he's done okay. I think he's in the next bracket of keepers. Let's put in Dubravka next then. I'm okay with that. And then we'll go Robert Sanchez. A lot of people are slagging him off, so we'll go him next. So we're now up to 15th. So I think we've got Sales or Hermansen, I think would be 15th. What we're going to go for. Trying to think, are we missing anyone? Not Callagher, Leno, I think are above what we've got. Roofs are above what we've got. I think Darlow's having a good season, so I'm not going to put Darlow this low down. What else we're going to go for? Sales next. Okay, Sales. And then I think we'll go Hermansen. Redeeming himself, but I think he's still, not the best goalkeeper in the league. And because Joshua said Leno is the definition of 13th, we're going to put Leno in 13th. I'm okay with that one. All right, what we've got left then? We've got basically the keepers that are playing for the top 10 at the minute. I think now we've got Darlow, Callagher. I'm trying to think about who's coming up next. So we've got Darlow, Callagher. We've already done Sanchez. He's lower down. I'll read out the list at the end, and we can adjust it if we wish, right? Emi Martinez, maybe. Oh, someone we've missed. Maybe it's time to put Petrovic in. I think Petrovic needs to go in now. I think he's getting better, but I don't think he's like a top goalkeeper. So I'll put him in next. And then I think we'll go Darlow. So now we're into the top 10 now. So let me read out the keepers we've got left, and then we'll pick out who we want from 10th and 9th. So we've got Raya, Donnarumma, Lamins. We'll go Alisson. I know he's injured, but we'll go Alisson. Martinez. And then we've got Verbruggen in goal for Brighton. Callagher. He's maybe coming up now, isn't he? Pickford, Roofs, Henderson. I reckon Callagher, 10th. And then maybe Martinez at 9th. Well, we'll go Martinez 10th and Callagher 9th. Martinez is nowhere near as good as he used to be. I'm ignoring the shouts for Pickford yet, because as much as he's annoyed West Ham fans, I do think Pickford is like a top goalkeeper. So we're now into the top 8. Maybe Roofs at 8th. Alisson's been pretty poor. I'm a big Alisson fan, but he has been poor this season, hasn't he? Do we put Alisson at 8th? Is that where we're putting him? Who's 8th? Shoot saying, what's this about? We're just ranking the goalkeepers in the Premier League, the number ones, right? We're not doing the substitute goalkeepers. We're not doing Trafford, Perry, Areola. We're doing the number ones, right? Donnarumma next. Okay, we'll put Donnarumma in. People are saying time for Henderson. All right, we'll put Henderson in then. See what we've got left. I'm uncomfortable with Henderson underneath Verbruggen, but we'll put him in now. That leaves the top 4. So we've got Raya, Lamins, Roofs. I think we're going to have to move him. I think this is too high for Roofs. And Pickford. So we'll put Roofs in at 4th, and we can move him. So top 3, we've got Raya, Lamins, Pickford. Are we going to go Raya, then Pickford, and then Lamins? Well, I'll write that in, and then you lot can argue. And we can adjust it, right? We can adjust it. We can adjust it. I'm uncomfortable. I think Henderson's too low, personally. So this is the top 20 in order, decided by you guys, but we can move a couple around, okay? So at the 20th place, we've got Vicario. In 19th, we've gone with Jose Sa. 18th, Nick Pope. 17th, we've gone with Dubravka. 16th, you have gone for Sanchez. 15th, Sals. 14th, Hermansen. 13th, Leno. 12th, Petrovic. 11th, Darlow. 10th, Martinez. 9th, Kelleher. 8th, Allison. 7th, Donnarumma. 6th, Henderson. 5th, Verbruggen. 4 Roofs. 3 Lamins. 2 Pickford. 1 Araya. What we're reckoning? What we're reckoning? Have we got much wrong? I feel like Roofs is quite high, and I think Henderson's a bit low. And I don't know. Donnarumma and Allison being 7th and 8th feels a bit wrong. I don't know. Yeah, Paul, but we're doing... Pope started their last game. I appreciate I bent my own rules with the Liverpool goalkeeper, though. But anyway, what are we all saying? We're happy with that list? That's the list we've gone for. That's the list you guys have gone for. You lot have just ranked off 20 goalkeepers. Anyway. And Joshua saying Ryan number 1 doesn't feel right, but I don't know who should be. I think there's a case for Pickford. I think Pickford's a top goalkeeper. I'm a massive fan. Grouch is saying Kinski's a Spurs starter. I think that's only due to injury, though. I think that's only due to injury. I think if Vicario's fit, he might start against Villa. We'll wait and see. But I suspect Vicario might go straight back in, and that might actually benefit us West Ham fans. Paul reckons the list is about right. Matt likes it. Ryan thinks it'll do. Yeah, I don't think it's too offensive. I don't think there's any wild calls on there. I think Petrovic is quite high up for me, even though he's only 12. It feels quite high. I think he struggled at the start of the season. Anyway, what we're saying is currently Man U 2, Brentford 0. Let me have a little look and see how the watch-along bet's doing. Okay, so we needed Luke Shaw to be fouled. He's been fouled, so that's in. We needed Lewis Potter to be fouled twice. He's not been fouled once, so that's not great. We needed Shada to be fouled. That's happened. We needed Thiago to commit 2 fouls. He's committed 1. We needed Coyote to be fouled. That's happened. That's in. We needed Mbomo to have 2 shots. He hasn't had any. And we needed Utara to have 2 shots. And he hasn't had any. So we need, in the second half, we need Lewis Potter to be fouled twice. Thiago to commit a foul. Then Mbomo and Utara both have 2 shots. If that happens, one of you lot will win £100. I think it's not going to happen. I don't think it's an unrealistic thing. Grouch. No, I don't think Gavriola would rank higher than Mads Hermansen. I think Gabriola's flaws are covered up because of how good he is with his saves and stuff like that. I think his saves are really good, but I think his distribution's terrible, and I think his dealing with crosses, whether it's open play or set piece, I think is poor. So no, not for me. Ryan, I think Vicario's back very, very soon. I think he might be back this weekend. Lewis's top 5 would be Lamins number 1, Henderson number 2, Raya 3, Pickford 4, Roos 5, and 6 Donnarumma. Again, inoffensive, Lewis. I think that's an inoffensive. There's not much I disagree with there. But maybe Pickford higher than Henderson. I don't know. Anyway, tell you what, brilliant game at Old Trafford though. Thoroughly enjoying it. Always as a West Ham fan, I want Brentford to lose. I'm hoping Man United come out and turn the screw a little bit. I'm hoping that they can come out and get another goal or something and just really suck any optimism they had out of getting a European place. I'm hoping they can just continue to piss on the parade a little bit in the second half and just give us a bit of an opportunity at the weekend. But Brentford, even though they're 2 goals down, I don't think it tells the whole story of the half. I think there's been a lot to like about this Brentford team. The reaction after going a goal down was really good, and Lammers has made a couple of top saves, albeit 2 of the saves came from heaven. One with his tackle, another one with his arm. But Thiago's fluffed a couple of big opportunities, and Coyote's shot was a top save by Lamins as well. So the Man U keeper, while he's keeping a clean sheet, he's had to work for it so far. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Some real top saves from him. So 2-0 feels like a comfortable scoreline, but I think it's maybe a little bit generous for Man U. Here we go. We've got the advert for Prisoner again. This is what I was talking about at the very start of the stream. This looks good. All the episodes out on Thursday. I am ready. But Thursday's my busy day at work, really. Thursday's always my busy day. Do the preview, got plenty of videos to do on a Thursday. And then do the cup of tea at 7 o'clock, which is an hour long. Then go watch the Nottingham Forest Villa game. So on a Thursday, it tends to be like I class watching football as work to some extent, because sometimes there's games I'm a bit like, but I watch it because I have to. And so technically Thursday's like a 14-hour day. But I will stop for a couple of hours during the day. Anyway, Katie's looking forward to Prisoner. Yeah, it looks right up my street. Hopefully it's a good one. But I'm saying everyone tune into next Watch Along. Gio will be tanking the top 10 West Ham fan channel. It's going to be juicy stuff. I will not be doing that, Brian. Thank you very much. I'm too nice. I'm too nice. Tony saying anything in early in Sydney Aussie's Amanda Staveley stories, anything in it? No, I don't think so. I think it's just wishful thinking. I think there's a bit of merit to it. It's not completely unbelievable, but I think it's more just the source, the person that started the rumour isn't the best. But I think it's just a lot of people want to believe it, so they're allowing themselves to believe it. But it's hope, isn't it? A lot of West Ham fans have hope for a takeover. That's a rumour that would suggest there could be a takeover. And people are hoping it's true. I completely understand it. I get it completely. Danny saying that Forest Villa game is really interesting. Danny, as an Everton fan, what's your prediction? What do you think is going to happen? Brian finally binged Slow Horses. Oh, at last. At last. One of my favourite series. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love Slow Horses. Jackson, the character, is one of my favourite ones. He's up there with Jim Royal. Brian's away to ask who Jim Royal is. Anyway, a change for Man U at half-time. Mazraoui coming on to replace Amad Diallo at half-time. So that's an interesting change for Man United. See how they line up in the second half. The second half is underway. Maybe he's just going to play Mazraoui right wing, but it feels unlikely. You would imagine they're maybe switching to back three. Mazraoui's certainly at the back with Maguire and Heaven at the minute. As Shada brings down the ball, gives it to Tara, but Casemiro's there to nick it off him. And it looks like Man U are going to switch to back three here. Luke Shaw and Dalot as wing backs. Which, don't know. I mean, I get Brentford had a lot of the ball, but it feels unnecessary. Bearing in mind they're 2-0 up. There will be plenty of space and opportunity to go make it 3-0, I think. Anyway, Dalot on the ball here, trying to go past Jensen, but he's not very good, and Jensen comfortably wins that and gets fouled. Scott saying Brentford looks flat. We can get 3 points next weekend. Katie's, thank you very much. She says, please thank Gonzo, he's brilliant. I already have, don't worry, but thank you very much for your support. Altel, I'm assuming that's Everton. It looks Evertonian. What? I can't read it though. What does it say? I don't know. He says Villa 1, Forest 1. Danny is saying, I've actually had a feeling for Forest for ages, but Emery, I guess 2-1 at the City ground and maybe a Villa come back in the second leg. It's hard, isn't it, to call it that Europa League games. Forest aren't going to make it easy. It's the Spurs game I'm interested in. Oh, it's stuck, is it? It does that when I log out and in. There you go. I'll leave it on the statistics. There you go. Thank you very much. I'll just leave it on the stats for the game. That's more interesting. Hopefully, second half can go well. We can win the bet, and someone wins £100. And that's what I'm hoping for. Until Utara and Mboma start shooting, though, I'm not going to pay too much attention. I seen Cunha got a foul, Jack, but is he definitely out or is he just a doubt? Because if you have to start Morato, I'm not a big fan of him, and Abbott's a bit young. Anyway, Sesko dinks it over towards Luke Shaw, and he has a very rash effort. And it's well wide. I don't think he needed to shoot there. What's he shooting for? I don't know why he shot there. I think I'd be a bit annoyed if I was his teammate. I'd say, what on earth are you doing? Matt saying, do we think Arsenal to bottle title? Yes. Yes. I think we draw against them. Honestly, Matt, I think we draw against Arsenal. I think we are the ones. I think it's us. I think them and Man City will keep winning their games. And I think we draw. And that's the weekend it finishes with City 2 points clear. We draw against them. We're going to do it. Anyway, Mboma on the ball. Cuts across into that 6-yard box, headed behind by Van der Berg. Come on, Baldy, I need you to shoot. Well, I don't. This lot do. This lot. One of this lot needs you to shoot. 2 shots, please. Martin loves the idea that us and Leeds could send them down and stop Arsenal from winning the league. We beat Brentford, Spurs lose to Villa, and Leeds, we beat Arsenal, and happy days. I would absolutely love it. And Jack's saying that it's 7 to 10 days for Cunha. Oh, that's not good. So who do you think is going to start? Morato? And it comes from Mboma. Maguire! Saved by Kelleher. And Damsgaard picks up the loose ball in the Brentford box. He looks to break. Good ball to Jensen. A chance here for Brentford. He looks for Utara. And he couldn't get that right. I don't think it was the best ball by Jensen. I don't think that was the right that choice was the right one. I think he had better ones on the right there. I don't think he should have been given that to Tad. I think he had Shadow on his right. I think that's a poor decision by Jensen. He's on the ball again. Damsgaard with it now for Brentford. Gives it to Jensen. Sketch thinks we get something from the game. Lewis thinks there's more chance of us beating Arsenal than them beating us. But Katie thinks we get beat by Arsenal, and there's apologise. Don't apologise. Mary saying, how's Brentford looking? Do you know what? I've actually been quite impressed by them. Although they're 2-0 down, I think they played quite well. What we're saying, chat, Mary Poppin is asking what we think about Brentford tonight. How are they looking tonight? Let him or her know in the live chat. Kobe Manu on the ball for Manu. Just dinks out to the left-hand side to Bruno Fernandes. Luke Shaw in the underlap rather, crosses it and is put behind for another corner kick to Man United. I haven't seen a dream ending to the season. Spurs going down and us being responsible for Arsenal getting a title. Absolutely, 100%. 100%. It is a dream, isn't it? Someone said it's the West Ham treble, and I quite like that. Funny. Anyway, another corner coming in. Maguire's had 2 headers saved by Kelleher now. Can he get his head on a third one? Casemiro a big danger too, and it goes towards that back post. It's ugly, but it's been cleared. Mazraoui thought about sending it, changed his mind and has gone back to Lamin. Stephen thinks Brentford have looked okay after the first 10-15 minutes. Dean thinks they've looked solid apart from their defence. I think they've just been stopped by a top goalkeeper in great form. On another day, another night, Brentford scored 1 or 2 in that half against Man U. Damsgaard looks for the run of Shada. Mazraoui's there. He's under pressure and he's done really well to just give that to Dalot, actually. Man, you just take a minute, but it's a bit hurried by Mazraoui on that occasion. Straight to the Brentford midfield. Give it to Utara. We need him to shoot. Damsgaard thinks about the cross, but he goes... Tries to play it cute to Kane Lewis Potter. We need him to be fouled, actually, don't we? I don't think this bet's going to win. Boo! Hashtag Gio out. Colin comes over, deals with Mboma well. And Boomo. Jack, would you take any Spurs players? Yes, but I refuse to discuss it. I feel like that's tempting fate. Which is weird, because I'm not really someone that believes in fate. I don't know, I find it uncomfortable discussing. I'm happy to discuss which Wolves or Burnley players I'd like at West Ham should we stay up. But I don't know, I think there's something... I feel like I'm playing with fire if I sit here and discuss which Spurs players I think would be good acquisitions for West Ham. But to answer your question, Bergvall, Archie Gray, those two would be at the top of my list. I think midfield is an area we could do with strengthening in the summer, and Bergvall and Archie Gray would be two unbelievable players, and both so young as well. But I would be chucking loads of money at one of those two. I'd imagine you'd have a lot of competition. And also, both of them might say, nah, we're happy to have a season in Championship with Spurs. I wouldn't be surprised if they chose to do that. But if either of them was thinking about leaving, I don't think they're good enough for yet. I don't think they're good enough yet for like a Champions League club in the Premier League. So actually, a move to someone like Everton or West Ham or Leeds, I think would be good moves for them. So that would be my two for Spurs if they were going to be available. What do you think? What do you think, Jack? Lewis would take Solanke. Joshua saying, stop wearing West Ham shirts and always predict us to lose, tempt the fake gobs to prove him wrong. Grace has wore her new West Ham kit twice and we've won both times. Just saying, the Wolves game and then the Everton game, and she didn't wear it for the Palace game because she was at nursery that day. And she will be wearing it on Saturday. Again, not superstitious, but just in case I'm wrong about stuff like this and fate does actually work, I'm willing to try it. I'll be getting her dressed on Saturday morning into her little West Ham kit. Anyway, Coyote's going to take a long throw. I don't feel like we've seen many of them. He didn't even take it long. He just threw it short to Jensen. He sends it in. Thiago's offside. Well offside. What are you doing, you clown? Saying that. My natural anti-Man United bias coming out there. I don't even want Brentford to win. I'm complaining that he's given up a good chance. And actually, I don't want him to score. I forgot I want Brentford to lose for a moment. I'm just used to just going to Man U losing. Does things to you, this. Being in a relegation battle, wanting things to happen they don't actually want to happen. Plays with your head a little bit. I'm not keen. Manu gives it to Casemiro. That's as I say, ambitious. I don't think it was. I think it was just a bit silly, really. And he's going straight to the Kelleher, the Brentford goalkeeper. As Brentford come away here, Keane Lewis Potter. He's lost out to Manu. He's had a really good game in midfield for Man United. He's had a lot to do. But he's caught really, really well with it. Harry Maguire strolling forward. Brentford have yet to have a shot in the second half, despite being 2 goals down, and we're 13 minutes into the half. As Rowy's on the ball there. Dale can't see Archie Gray going back to Leeds, but he is a big Leeds fan. You never know. Like, why not be ambitious? I think the way to get to these players, if you did want to entice them, is to put like clauses in their contract to allow them to leave for a certain fee the following summer. Thiago, great play, good 1-2 with Jensen. Gets away from Fernandes, and that's a big tackle by Kobe Mainoo, but it falls to Utara. Thinks about hitting it, doesn't, gives it to Coyote, goes into the box towards Shada, and it's cleared. So Coyote will debate the long throw again. We'll wait and see if he actually chucks it in the box this time. I think he will. Coyote with the long throw. And it goes headed away by Luke Shaw. It's bouncing around in that Man U box, and Dalot just smashes it down the middle of the pitch. Shada knocks it down for Thiago, but Maguire kicks off his head and falls to Tara. And he's put it well wide. Terrible effort. I hope he was offside for his sake, otherwise that's incredibly embarrassing. I don't think he was. It's just incredibly embarrassing. Well, that's a shot. We needed 2 of them. We've got 1. Hopefully in Bournemouth we can rattle a couple of shots off. Vandenberg's gone down after challenge by Sesko. Looked a bit strange, but the referee's given him a free kick for it. No complaints from Sesko, though. Yeah, fair enough. He does slap him in the face, doesn't he? He proper slapped him in the face there. All over Bruno there, but the referee, I don't even think he's even given him a free kick. Yarmouk was very, very handsy with Bruno Fernandes there. Man U skipper not too happy. It's a throw into Man U though. Just checking the bet we need. We only really had that Utara shot. It's not looking too good at half time, I'm afraid. I don't think I'm winning someone £100 tonight. Damsgaard brings it down, gives it to Thiago. Jack saying, I think a lot of their players are overrated, which is part of the reason they're in this mess. I think the only player suits how we play is Polinia. Lewis saying, how much does our confidence and survival revolve around Villa beating Spurs? If Spurs somehow win and we don't beat Bournemouth, Brentford, it could be rough. Yeah, completely. Yeah. We have to win. And then The Spurs have to not win. A draw is obviously not ideal, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Would put us 4 points ahead of them. And it just means that the following weekend, if they were to beat Leeds and Arsenal beat us, which I don't think is a wild suggestion, we'd still be at the bottom three with Newcastle away and Leeds at home, and it's in our hands. Utada's done really well, skipping past Herring, put the cross in, Dalot heads it out, Jensen heads it down. I don't think this game's over yet. Brentford can get a goal in the next 10, 15 minutes. It's game right on. That's a lovely ball to lose Potter, but his cross is gathered by Lamins. There's a lot to like about this Brentford game. I don't know. It's making me more worried. Even though they're losing, it's making me more worried for Saturday. Does that make sense? You'd think watching a team that you're away to play get beat 2-0, you'd think you'd feel quite comfortable playing them next up. But I don't know. There's a lot I'm liking about this Brentford performance, actually. But I do think our centre-backs would be performing better than the Man United centre-backs. I don't think Mazraoui. I don't think Panos and Disasi would allow as much opportunity for the Brentford defence. Sorry, as much opportunity for the Man No, I'm all over the place. It's in Bomo. Oh, he's absolutely fucked it. Let me start that again, right? I think our centre-backs would be performing better than Man U centre-backs. I don't think Disasi and Panos would give as much opportunities to the likes of Thiago as Man U have done this evening. There you go. Finally got it out of my mouth. Matt is going to win a refund for his donation earlier, saying that I'm one of the best ones on YouTube. Sketching the worry for any of our last games is our poor first halves. If any teams break our defence, I'm not confident we scored 2 against any of our remaining oppositions. Score 2 against any of them first, we win. David saying Brentford have wasted a lot of chances. Stephen saying he's getting more worried as this game goes on, which is weird. They're 2-0 down, we're getting more worried. Lewis saying our centre-backs have been so consistent, it's just the attackers that don't always turn up. Bone and Somerville play 8 out of 10. We win most games, and I agree with that. That's what Jamie Carragher was saying before the match in regards to ourselves, Nottingham Forest and Spurs. He said, Nottingham Forest have got Gibbs White, we've got Jared Bowen. He said Spurs don't have a player like that. Coyote with a long throw once again. Flicked on by Vandenberg, headed away by Maguire, and it's a free kick to Man United after a foul by Thiago, which is what we needed. So that part of the bet is now in. So we now need Lewis Potter to be fouled twice, and Bomo to have 2 shots, and Utara to have 1 shot. Should that happen, one of you win £100. See if Keith Andrews makes any changes tonight. Did not make any last week, although the game against Fulham was a little bit flat. Da Silva's back on the bench for Brentford tonight. I think the last time Da Silva was in a matchday squad for Brentford was over 800 days ago. Wow. Big number. Coyote with a throw. Another throw that looks like a foul throw, but it's not. I don't know what a foul throw is anymore. I thought Everton did a couple at the weekend as well, Michaelenko in particular. Mainu gets his pocket picked. Brentford trying to come forward here. Yarmulke on the ball. Casemiro with a really good tackle. And Bruno Fernandes picks it up. Tell you what, Bruno, if he doesn't break the assist record, it'll be because, man, you don't try and bloody attack very much. They did it against Chelsea. They were 1-0 up. Then they had 4 shots all game. Luke Shaw taking a minute with the throw in here. Gives it to Fernandes, who just flicks it on to Damsgaard. And he's gone down with a free kick, but there was no foul at all there. Chance for Brentford to maybe capitalise. Utara cuts onto his left, crosses it, but it's headed away by Maguire. Mainu's having a really good game. I think Mainu's had a brilliant game in that midfield for Man U tonight. So is Casemiro. I think they both had good players. Finn saying I'll be more scared of the space Damsgaard and fullbacks will get than our centre-backs. Hopefully we have enough, though. Jack saying I don't know how Spurs score unless it's a set piece or a screamer. Also, their De Zerbi high press won't work forever. Teams will suss them out. Mark saying got called a gump on your earlier post by someone in chat. I had to look it up. Thought he meant gimp. And he was going to ask him how he knew. What's gump mean? I don't know what it means. I don't know what gump means. I'm going to have to Google it now. Right, let me just have a little gander. Gump. A dull-witted person. I wouldn't. The irony is someone saying gump to call someone dull. I think there's a lot of irony there. I think the fact you're using the word gump makes you the dull-witted person. I think you'll get over it, Malcolm. I think you'll be fine. But Malk, it's important in this day and age. Help is available should you require it. Don't be afraid to reach out, speak to someone, call the Samaritans and tell them someone called you a gump. Be strong, brother. Brentford have crowded this box. In comes the corner. Casemiro flicks on. It's Utara off the post. And he's kicked Harry Maguire's head off. He tried a bicycle kick. Harry Maguire. That's brave, brave defending from Harry Maguire. Utara goes to bicycle kick it. And Maguire just throws himself at it. But unlucky again from Brentford. Hitting the post on this occasion. My favourite insult. It depends on the context, doesn't it? Do you know an insult I've not heard for a long time, actually? You're probably not allowed to use this word anymore, that's why. But an insult, I don't know why it's just come to my head. An insult that used to be quite common when I was at school, I've not heard in a long, long time. And I know you're probably not going to... You're not going to be allowed to use it anymore, and I'm not using it to stress. I'm talking about a word that was said 20 years ago. Knob jockey. Do you remember that? Knob jockey used to be a common insult when I was at school. I think my one might be when I quite like the 4-letter C word, but I use that word a lot. I overuse it, and I know people don't like it, but I like it. It's my favourite word. But I think I quite like to say to people, do you know, if I was to slag someone off to someone, right? If someone would say, what do you think of that person? I didn't like him. I'd say, you get dickheads, but he's a proper dickhead. So I think proper dickhead would be the terminology that means you're just like, he's not just a dickhead, he's a proper dickhead. There you go. So it's not that insulting, is it? I don't know. The funny thing is, I think the world's gone like full circle. I think almost an insult now to someone. And I like what Ricky Gervais said. Ricky Gervais said, the problem with arguing with stupid is they don't realise they're the stupid one. Now, I've never said that to someone, but I've thought it a few times when I've been debating or arguing with someone, and in my head I've thought, no point arguing with this person for that reason. Just leave it. Just back out. Just back out. Just back out. Just back out. Yeah. Joshua, thunder cunt. Yeah, that's definitely right up there. Brian, since visiting England, has been using bell end a lot. It's one word, Brian. Not that matters, but it's just one word. Right, Mason Mount's come on. Let's have a gander of what he is to do 2 fouls. You get good odds usually on players that have come off the bench to commit fouls. I had it yesterday when Sean Longstaff came on. He was 5-1 to do a foul. 2 minutes later, bang, foul sorted. Thank you very much. Anyway, Mason Mount came on and replaced Mbomo, so we now need flipping 2 shots from Mason Mount with 15 minutes to go. There's no chance of the bet landing now. Unless he shoots from the halfway line again. Remember he did that last season. I think it was last season. Remember he just pung it from the halfway line and scored. Right, where is he? There we go. 20-1. Worth a fiver, isn't it? Let's have a fiver. That'd be nice. 20-1 for Mason Mount to do 2 fouls. 5 shillings on. Anyway, Thiago's getting booked. Pity he couldn't get sent off or anything stupid. Thiago booked for reaching out to heaven. Unfortunately, no one opened the gates and he's in the book. As Mason Mount is battling away with Coyote. Gives it to Maitinu, Heaven, Sesko, out to Mazraoui. But a good sweeping by Collins. Melt. That's one. Avid said cunt of any form, but he said cunt nugget. Cunt nugget. I've never heard that one. Tell you what, every single insult in the live chat's been a lot better than Gump, that's for sure. Mainu, pass 1, pass 2, Mason Mount on the ball now. Gives it to Mainu. Into Sesko to Mount to Bruno Fernandes. Doesn't shoot. Should have shot. Cuts it back to Casemiro. Ooh. And it hits something. Man, you want a corner, but I think it might have come off the post personally. Bruno Fernandes is having a little shoving match with Thiago. Go on, get him sent off. Go on. Get him sent off. Go on, Bruno. Keep going. And you, Casemiro. Go on. Have a pop at him. See, the referee can't really book Bruno Fernandes here because should he do that, he's got to book Thiago and send him off. That's it. Bruno's still going at him. Go on. Get him sent off. He's rattled. They're both rattled. Bruno Fernandes and Thiago for some reason. It was only over a potential corner as well. It wasn't even that big a deal. Keane Lewis Potter cuts it back to Jensen. Coyote on the ball for Brentford currently. Now it's Damsgaard out to Yarmulke on this right wing for Brentford. And it comes from Utada. It falls to Keane Lewis Potter. And Dalot does really well, but still with Lewis Potter cuts back for Van den Berg. Out to Yarmulke. Brentford pressing here. And it goes to Thiago, but it's good defending by Dalot. And Fernandes does really well. So does Casemiro and Dalot, actually. That's really good play by Man U to get away from that. But Dalot's overrun it and has committed the foul. Free kick to Brentford. Too far out to shoot, but certainly a really good opportunity to get the cross in. Finn saying, if someone joined the stream, they think you're all slacking me off. Yeah, I just assume you are anyway. Don't worry. You crack on. I will, with a very formal, people would think this is a very hostile chat. What a very formal thing to say. I'm not against it. I like it. I will. Just felt quite articulate. And it goes headed away, and it falls to Utaro, cuts it back in, headed away by Casemiro. Yarmulke collects it and gives it back to Utara, up against Menu. Good play, good cross, but Dalot heads it away once again. And Jensen will pick it up. Still 10 minutes to go here. There's plenty of time for Brentford to get back in it. I don't feel like they've tested Lamins this half, though. Reece Nelson gives it 1-2 with Damsgaard. It's back with Nelson. Utara now on this right wing. And it's good play by Mazraoui, but a bit of a hurried clearance, though. Man U's struggling to get the ball here. Lewis Potter, lovely ball into Nelson, but Maguire, some good defending there. Lewis Potter keeps it in, and Casemiro flies in on him, but it's a good strong tackle. Throw into Brentford, down that left-hand side. Coyote travels across the pitch, take his long throw. 9 minutes of normal time to go at Old Trafford. Manchester United 2, Brentford 0. And it comes, good throw, headed down and away. Man U have had to do some real last-ditch defending today. And I don't think they were the best at it in the first half, bar that one moment from heaven. But the second half, I think they've been defending a lot better. And it comes from Jensen. Head away by Mazraoui. And Menu under pressure from Thiago. Go on, bring him down. Oh, he had to leave him, and he did. That's annoying. That could have been second yellow card territory there. As now it's Brentford's turn to attack again. Tell you what, a good game this. No matter how it plays out, this final 8 minutes or something, I've enjoyed watching this match tonight. Good game of football. Yarmulke gives it to Damsgaard. Not the best pass, and Mason Mount's just going to let this one roll out for a goal kick, despite Yarmulke's efforts to keep it in. Xerxes getting ready to come on for Man U. You'd imagine it's just going to be a straight swap for him and Sesko. Lamin's taking a minute as we get reminded about the big game in the Championship tomorrow between Southampton and Ipswich. Should Ipswich not win, it opens the door for Millwall to finish second. Then we've got the final day in the Championship on Saturday. Huge, huge weekend of football coming up in the Championship. I love the playoffs, though. I do love the Championship playoffs. Very exciting. Go on, Mason. Foul him. Fuck's sake. Useless shite. Boo! I wanted my Mason Mount foul, and all he did was jockey. Prick. Anyway, Utara runs at Mazraoui. Gets a cross in, and Lamins gets his hands on it and hits the deck. Don't know why, because I think the referees have been quite good with the whole 8-second counter. Saying that, he's had it in his hands for about 8 seconds now. He's dropped it on this occasion, though. Sorry, everyone. Just arguing with someone on YouTube on Hammer's chat. I actually am. Because someone just said, why do you think if Leeds beat... You think Leeds will beat Burnley, so why would they try and beat Spurs? I said, because they won't be mathematically safe. And they said, oh, a lot of backtracking going on here, so you don't think 43 points will be enough to stay up? So I've just said, I've never said that. You're literally just making stuff up. And he said, well, either you think 40 points will be enough or it won't be. So I've just had to explain, mathematically safe does not mean that's how many points I think you need to accrue. Welcome to the world of YouTube. It's very stressful sometimes. Remember Ricky Gervais. Remember Ricky Gervais. Remember Ricky Gervais. I don't know, my frustration is when people take things so literal. So when I said Leeds wouldn't be mathematically safe, it's like, so you don't think 43 points will be enough? Even though at no point have I said it. No point have I said it. I don't know. If it wasn't my job, I think I'd give it up. But if I didn't give it up, I think I would just reply and just say, oh, fuck off. I think I would. I think I'd just reply and be like, look, I'm sorry you don't understand. Fuck off. I think that's what I would do. Anyway, Brentford. I think Southampton win the Championship playoffs. I think Ipswich will come up second, but I think that's what will happen. Anyway, in comes the ball, cleared by Dalot again. Utara picks it up. Into Nelson. Back to Utara on the right wing. There's still bodies in the box for Brentford. Jensen on the ball, cuts onto his right, has a go. Oh, what a goal! That is a great finish by Jensen. Absolutely pinpoint into that far corner. That's a terrific strike from Jensen. Game on. Only 3 minutes of normal time plus stoppage time, but they'll believe they can do it. They deserve this. Brentford deserve this. That is a lovely goal. Curls it, hits the inside of the post, and in. I don't think you're stopping that one. Good goal. Be interesting to see how many minutes go up. It's going to make Man U nervous, that's for sure. I blame Mason Mount. I reckon if he had committed a couple of fouls, this wouldn't be happening. I'm holding him responsible. Xerxes come on to replace Sesko, got involved straight away. Kobe Mainoo's had a brilliant game and continues to do so. Evan clattering away into a couple of players here, gives it to Mason Mount. Lovely ball into Xerxes. And that's a terrible ball by him. He gets a second bite at it, and he also does bad with that one as well. Jensen goes out to Otara. Go on, Mason, foul him, foul him. Ref, that's a free kick. Oh, he's giving a free kick. One more, Mason. Come on. Lots of stoppage time, please. Come on. One more foul from Mason Mount, please. I need loads of stoppage time on the clock. Go on, get him, Mason. Coyote on the ball. Get him. Come on, Mason. Pussy hole. Go get him. I don't want anything less than 4 minutes here. 5 or 6 would be nice. There's not been that many stoppages, in fairness. I don't know. 4 minutes would feel reasonable. Out to Otara. Kill him, Mason. And it comes. Good cross. Good header. Oh, Damsgaard with the header. Straight at Lamins, though. Man, you've got a little bit lucky there. Brentford are going for it. They're feeling this. They put a lot of good crosses into the area tonight. Jensen on the ball. Go get him, Mason. Stand there watching. He's not even engaging. What are you doing? I'm not having this. This geezer's making me lose my bet on purpose. 5 minutes for Mason Mount to do a foul to win me £100. 5 minutes for Brentford to grab an equaliser. Not as important as me winning £100, though. As Lewis Potter gives it to Damsgaard in the middle of the park. And should it win, I'm hoping at least one person tells me they've done the bet as well. And that's a great interception by Mazraoui at that back post there. Utara was coming in. I think he's had a really good second half, Utara. He's come alive a little bit. I thought he was quite struggled in the first half. I thought he was quite anonymous. But in the second half, I think he's got on the ball a lot more. And he's been a lot more direct and kept it simple, just getting crosses in as Casemiro flies in on Coyote. A really good tackle. And he wants the goal kick. And the referee's taking a minute here. And he's giving the corner eventually to Brentford. I don't think either official was sure what that was. Yeah, I think it is a corner. Usually, they err on the side of caution and give the goal kick just in case this results in a goal. Utara sends it in. It's deep. It's headed back into that Man U box, cleared by Lenny Yoro. And it's out to Jensen. Mason Mount pretends he's going to do something, but doesn't. As Reece Nelson has it over on this right-hand side. A good strong tackle by Xerxes, and he kicks the ball away, and he might find himself in the book for that. He has been booked for that. Stupid yellow card, really. Because Brentford take a minute at throws anyway to get Coyote to take the long throw. So actually, him kicking the ball away hasn't actually wasted any time, really. Everyone in the box here. Coyote with the long throw. And it goes. And Casemiro goes down. The referee gives a free kick against Collins. Had a good game, Casemiro. There's been a few good performances out there. I think the Man U midfielders have been good. I think the Brentford Damsgaard things had a really influential game. Who were giving the man a match to? Jensen's done all right as well, I think. I'd go Casemiro. What we're saying, I think he's done a lot of defending. In the first half especially, I think he did a lot of defensive work. Got the goal as well. I think he'd be my man of the match. But I also like Damsgaard. I think he's had a brilliant game. So I think it'd be between those two. So I'd give it to Casemiro. And runner-up, not that there is such a thing, but my runner-up would be Damsgaard. Who's on the ball at the minute? Vol is out to Nelson. That's an interesting pass if the Brentford winger can get there. And he does just. But back to Kane Lewis Potter. 90 seconds at least to go for Brentford to get an equaliser at Old Trafford. The last 6 games, 3 of them have finished 0-0 and the other 3 have finished 2-2. Casemiro high-fiving a fan. Simon saying Lamins, that's not a bad shout to be fair. I think he's had a really good game. Big saves. I think that's a good shout to be fair. "11 tackles and 15 duels won for Casemiro. That is incredible. 11 tackles is insane. Euro goes long towards Fernandez. Collins gets his head on it. Casemiro flies in, but Damsgaard goes past him. Gives it to Nelson. Maguire's out there, puts a tackle in, throw into Brentford, and this is going to be the last chance. 20 seconds at least to go. Coyote's going to get over there and get this long throw into the box, you'd imagine, for Brentford. You feel like if Man U defend this, they'll pick up 3 points. Big 3 points for them in terms of getting Champions League football. But Brentford could maybe get an equaliser, and I think it would be deserved. I think Brentford have played well. And it goes by Coyote and Collins with a blatant push, and that's just stupid. Really, really stupid. Casemiro knows what he's doing, but he's just... You don't put your hands on Casemiro. He's literally... You've just done that 2 minutes ago. Idiotic thing to do. And you'd imagine that'll be that. Once Lamins kicks it, I think it'll be a full-time whistle will go. And that'll be 3 points for Man United. And that is exactly what has happened. There you go. Full-time Old Trafford, Man United 2, Brentford 1. I just want to say a massive thank you for joining me as a West Ham fan. I don't think it was the best thing to watch. I think Brentford played quite well. I think they were a little bit unlucky not to pick anything up out of that game. I think a draw would have been a fair result, but a big win for Man U and their hopes of Champions League football all but secure at Old Trafford next season. A blow for Brentford in their push for European football, but they'll be looking forward to the weekend against West Ham. They can still get right back in it, and it feels like there's a lack of form from those chasing European football at present. Brighton are putting form together, but that group with Everton and Brentford, not so much. Opportunity for Bournemouth as well, just to maybe put a few points between them and those behind them. But listen, a massive thank you to you guys for joining me. I appreciate your company tonight. And my next watch along will be for Aston Villa against Spurs on Sunday night, 7 o'clock kickoff. So I'll be live at 6:45. There'll be videos going up between now and then, but that'll be my next watch along. Thank you very much. Catch you in a bit.